I'm tracking calories, but I'm not seeing results. Calorie restriction's not working for me. Or I'm tracking this stuff, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong, I'm not seeing results, what is happening? So guys, I want to talk today about a lot of people and what I've noticed, and I classify fitness in two realms. BC, which was before the virus that went around, and AC, which is after the virus went around. So during BC, most people didn't know anything really about calorie restriction or counting. It was like very minimal, not many people did it. But AC, I've seen a huge flux of people who are starting to track calories. And that's really, really good because that is the basis for what you need in order to get in shape. A lot more people have tried calorie restriction now, which is good, and because that's the way it should be. Flexible dieting, which is what we preach, is ultimately the best way to go about your fat loss journey because it's going to be the most sustainable long term. Problem is, most people try calorie restriction, and I'm going to tell you why in a second, but they say it doesn't work for them, or they logged and blah, blah, blah. So I want to tell you why your tracking is not right today and what you need to do to fix that. So first things first, yes, by putting everything in a food journal or an app or whatever, you're taking steps in the right direction. And that's good. That's what you should be doing. This is how you ultimately get results. So first thing, you need to be doing this long term. So that means that you need to be doing it over time. And over time, you'll start to realize like where you're actually messing up. You can't track your calories for a couple of weeks and say, okay, I did it, it's not working. You need to continuously do it. It's an ongoing learning experiment. And the cool thing is you're gonna learn a lot about your body. You're gonna learn how many calories you need to lose weight, to maintain weight, to build muscle, how much protein you need, what foods agree with you, what foods don't agree with you. So that's all the positive and benefits that's gonna come with this, but it just takes time. So why is it that when you're tracking, nothing's happening? And it's because you're tracking things incorrectly. So one of the things that I can't stand, and this is why we set at AB Fitness, we set out and we created our own app for this because I couldn't stand any of this before. But a lot of these apps have, you type in, okay, let's say you had a piece of chicken, type in chicken, there's 10,000 different responses. And people make foods and put it in there, and there's all these databases are screwed up, and I personally hate it because it confuses people. I type in chicken breast and there's 30 different things. I'm gonna just pick the one that's closest there just for convenience. But most of the time it's not correct. I was looking at a client's food journal the other day and she was using Fitbit. Fitbit, apparently you could log food on Fitbit. So she's logging her food on Fitbit and she's saying like, I feel so full, I feel bloated, I don't feel like I'm actually losing weight, I don't know what's going on. Went back and looked at her food journal and her calories were in line. So technically when I'm looking at it from the calorie point of view, she's on track, right? Like it went back and her calories and her macros are on point. But then when I clicked into the journal and I'm able to look at the things, she had 8 ounces of chicken breast at 470 calories. Now I'm gonna pop up on the screen right here, just a basic general, like basic food and what their calorie level and macros should be. So I'll pop that up over here. So screenshot that, this way you can save it. But this is again, just a general one. This is what I use every day. But if you look, chicken breast, even if it's 8 ounces, is not 470 calories. So when you actually click into this food, it showed 15 grams of fat. So that's not correct. So why your logging is not correct? It's because the food intake that's in some of these food journals are not accurate. So what I would do is I would try to use the thing that I put here and use that as the basis for your general foods. Create custom foods in most of these apps and only use your custom foods. Remember, it doesn't really matter if it's right or wrong as long as you're consistent with that use. So whenever you use chicken breast, use the AB Fitness numbers for chicken breast and you'll always be accurate. Even if it's a little bit off, you'll always be on point. But with something like that, like the example that I gave you, 470 calories for 8 ounces of chicken breast, that is totally off and that will throw off your results, period, point blank. So if you're not getting the results that you want from practicing flexible dieting or calorie restriction, you need to look at the foods that you're eating. So not only are you looking at your calories and your protein level, you also need to be looking at what you're putting into your food journal. Is it correct? If it has a food label, make sure it matches the food label per serving. okay? And if it's not, doesn't have a food label, use the list that I put here. Hopefully you can screenshot that. And this way you know, okay, this is what it should be. Create the custom foods and use more of those custom foods. If you need help with any of this, I outline all of this in my blueprint book, and you can get that below in the description. And this is Anthony, AB Fitness Center, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.